Hey everybody, welcome to What Culture. I'm Scott, I'm joined by Ewan.
Hello.
Hello, and in the fallout from the Infinity War trailer, the newest trailer, there's a bit of a sort of a conversation brewing as to what the hell's going on with Hawkeye.
Yeah,
Now, this is
can
a
you believe it? Hawkeye.
Oh god, it's alright, we'll get there. There's a conversation that's been going on for a few years as to just how the MCU's been handling Hawkeye versus how important and sort of lovable he is in the comics. And as someone who's a big comic man,
yes,
you're very much aware of this. Whereas someone like me, I don't give a shit about Hawkeye.
You love to take the piss out of Hawkeye. It breaks my heart all the time.
I know, and even though I've heard good things. So we thought we'd have a little natter because you've got a lot to say about Hawkeye, and obviously he has his fans. And it is worth talking about just how much the MCU version isn't anywhere close to the sort of level of lovability that's in the comics. So,
yes,
what do you have to say?
Yeah, I kind of wanted to get this out of the way because I feel like for a while now, Hawkeye's gotten a bad rap from a lot of MCU fans. He's basically seen as the guy who has a bow and arrow, looks a little bit useless in the grand scheme of things when you've got a guy who has a lightning hammer, an armoured suit, a frisbee.
Are you telling me there's more to this man?
Yes, there is. There's more to this man than meets the eye and his concealed family that lives on a ranch somewhere. But anyway, Jeremy Renner's character has been given, I feel like Jeremy Renner in particular, he has not been given enough to do with the character. And it's basically had it. If you look at something like The Hurt Locker, for instance, where he was loads of buzz surrounding his performance when that came out in 2008, looking at the character he plays in that, this really cocky, self-assured, slightly neurotic, he's divorced as well. It's a big thing about Hawkeye in the comics. He has like so many wives. But like that character he plays there is kind of like who I'd want to see in the films. And kind of going on from the Avengers, where he was introduced as this cartoon mind-controlled guy who just shoots arrows, then into Age of Ultron, where there was this weird, I should say not weird course correction with him and his family.
Yep.
Going into the end of Civil War, you do see flashes of the character's comic self.
Right.
But people just still like to make fun of my boy Clint, and it's got to stop, because I think Renner can... He's seen today is not like he's done some good stuff recently, like Arrival, which is amazing. Yes. But he's still considered a weak link of the MCU, which I think is really unfair because he brings a lot to the table. He is
well, he's definitely fundamental as to how the group works. And one of the most memorable scenes, well, not one of the most memorable, but something that I really liked from Civil War was when he comes to rescue Wanda. And he just sort of, he has a little bit more of a personality in that, even though he's in a very tiny little scene. But I think a lot of the problem that sort of comes from the way he's come across in the MCU is that immediately in Avengers, he's mind controlled. And so that just tells the audience, like, this is almost like a hired goon kind of thing. It's like, it doesn't really matter, he's another part of the scenery. And he doesn't come back till the very end. Granted, he has that behind the back cool blind shot, which I loved. But then in Ultron, Joss Whedon apparently fought for that scene where he's at the farmhouse. But that doesn't seem to have any sort of relation to the character in the comics.
It doesn't feel to me that whole stuff that happened in Age of Ultron was all part of Joss's weird obsession with having a Beauty and the Beast romance between Hulk and Black Widow. Whereas before that, you could kind of see they were doing something between Hawkeye and Black Widow. I thought, like in Winter Soldier, he's wearing his arrow necklace.
Right.
Throughout all that, I thought they were going somewhere with that, and then there's this weird 180 there. But yeah, the Hawkeye of the comics, he's very much one of the most, I'm not going to say the most integral characters, but he's, in recent years, some of the most recent literature has been absolutely incredible. Matt Fraction and David Ajar's 2012 series, the same name, is all about what he's doing when he's not avenging, and it won all the Eisners.
Yes.
Massively critically acclaimed, and yet is still considered a weak link when, again, I think it's really rudimentary that people continue to rank the characters of the Avengers based solely on how much destruction they're able to cause. Like, you know
or just memorability.
I mean, yeah, but like you don't have to be memorable to blow stuff up.
Very
true. What I mean? Like, I'm trying to think of unforgettable blowy up characters from these films. There are probably many. It's Abomination. There we go.
Oh god, yeah. He's had a bit of a ragtag go.
Yeah.
But still, I mean, Hawkeye's kind of mentioned in a lot of the same breaths as Black Widow, because although like they were always the human component. You had all these big, larger-than-life characters, and then you had Black Widow and Hawkeye that were the on the ground, how are they dealing with it kind of thing. And yeah, it was one of those things where, come Ultron, you sort of, it seemed like Whedon had the same thought. He's like, right, we're going to give this character a bit more dimension because we're saving up for a Black Widow movie, so assumedly that'll eventually come and round out her character. But as far as Hawkeye's concerned, his actual major beats haven't really been... Like I said, he's got the blind shot in the Avengers, and then in Ultron he has the whole thing with Quicksilver, and he has that scene where he tries to motivate Wanda. And then in Civil War he saves Wanda, but he's just kind of there. He's sort of threaded throughout. Because to be honest, when the trailer for Infinity War came out, and obviously the subsequent poster, I didn't even notice, which I know.
I noticed.
I know. I didn't even notice, and then a lot of people went, bloody hell, where's Hawkeye? And I was like, oh yeah, that guy. Which I mean, a lot of people have scoured the credits on the bottom and realised that Peter Dinklage is in it, and people have been looking there, and I'm assuming that Jeremy Renner is in there. He must be.
I couldn't spot him.
We just
Really, I couldn't
we
spot
don't
him.
even know if he's in the small print. So are there any tie-in comic storylines that haven't been done that would be perfect little moments they could bring in?
They could probably do that.
I remember him pinging Ant-Man on the edge of his arrow. That was a cool thing.
Yes.
And it's like little things like that where you sort of go like, oh yeah, that's a neat use of that character. But I think the main problem with Hawkeye, especially in the MCU, or more so in the MCU, entirely in the MCU, is that most people don't have anything to pull from.
Yes.
Like, they don't have really... I mean, the same with Black Widow, really. She's just there. And it's just like... Obviously, comic fans know there's so much potential in these characters, but they haven't had any time to shine.
Yeah.
Mainly because it's the Robert Downey Jr., Chris Evans, and other man show.
I don't know if you saw a few weeks back, there were these really cool fan mock-ups for a Hawkeye Netflix show, which was going to be based on the Matt Fraction, David Ajar comic, which would be really, really cool. Obviously, that's never going to happen, but there is an awareness from Hawkeye fans, and yes, they do exist. That
There's one of them.
He could work in in a big film. Like it's not difficult. There have been flashes of brilliance in Civil War, a bit where he kind of completely verbally ruins Tony Stark in Civil War. It was the key highlight of that film when he's in the cell and he's like and stuff like that.
Yes.
So I don't know. I think he's the heart and soul of this team.
You've got a thing. You've got a little theory, which is...
I don't know. Like I feel like where's the Soul Stone? Could be with Hawkeye. Everyone loves him. He's the soul of the team.
Is he though? Is he the soul of the team? He's got a house.
He has.
You had them all over. They cut some wood. They hung out.
Maybe the Soul Stone is in one of those wood blocks waiting to be chopped.
Maybe. At least that would give Hawkeye something to do.
Oh my god, you've not.
But
Nothing is sunk in.
Well, I mean, I'm definitely game for the potential. I think if they did a whole bunch of stuff that was based on the Matt Fraction comics, that's the one that I've seen the artwork for.
Yes.
And it's definitely the one that a lot of people have been talking about more recently. But that kind of lends itself more to a Netflix show, which, I mean, in the way that Hawkeye seems to come across, or the general mentality that you've described him as, the sense of humor that he has, might mean that he could roll better with Daredevil, Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, that kind of thing.
Yes.
Not Iron Fist, just let him
Yeah.
Just let him go. Just
Iron
let him
who?
and just put Hawkeye in instead. But yeah, I mean, the general sort of thing, I mean, obviously the comments are going to dictate as to just, if there are Hawkeye fans that are from people who have only seen the MCU, I'm predominantly MCU and movie focused, and Hawkeye didn't leave that much of an impression other than he's a cool guy with a bow, he never misses, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But we'll have to wait and see. So yeah, let us know what you think down below. Is Hawkeye genuinely full of potential and has plenty more to come, or is he as forgettable as the MCU seem to already think that he is? Regardless, I've been Scott from WhatCulture.com.
I've been Ewan from WhatCulture.com.
And we'll catch you guys soon.
Bye.
Bye.